All right, so my name is Sam Coriel, and I've created this game with my teammates Jacob and Ryan, and we called our game S²RPG, which stands for Space Strategy Role-Playing Game. So creating this game was a very fulfilling experience, and it was much more work than I was ever expecting, but I'm really happy with the results. And I like the structured, formatted way we actually tackled the assignments every week in lab. I don't think I would have been able to tackle a game this size with this much work without the structured format we had. So I'm really appreciative of the fact that it was laid out like this, and I think it worked really well. So getting right into things, I would like to thank Nut Overbuy for the advanced turn-based tile toolkit that we ended up using, because we actually started off building the units and their respective moves on our own and realized that we actually didn't have the time or the fully fledged capabilities to achieve what we wanted. So much more code went into it that we weren't really expecting. So we're thankful for him and for creating this awesome toolkit. And going off of that, I guess we'll start with what I started with. So you can see the background here is a sort of space style, and I actually created it in a program that I'm going to throw up a few images of right here called Spacescape, and it's really incredible. I recommend it to everyone. It's really easy to use, and it actually it gives you the ability to create a fully fledged space background on your own. Like it gives you little stars, gives you little galaxies, and you can place them and put them where you want. Or if you aren't the master artist that some of these people are, they do give you a few references that you can use. And I actually used a few of those. And I started off with some dark blue ones and some green ones. And I think I really liked how the purple and the blue turned out, and I think it's pretty good quality. And so I threw it into a skybox, which I've done before, and I'm just really happy with how it ended up turning out. I've also created and textured this main level layout that you see here, with green being the grassy forest areas that have the trees on them, and blue being just the watery areas. And if I zoom in on a unit here, you can see that some are standing on the green tiles, and actually when I do a playthrough of the game here in a little bit, you'll notice that when they're on green, they can actually move farther, and they can move farther while they're on the forest tiles than when they're on the water tiles, so they have different ability points. Moving on, I also helped create the title sequence that you'll see when I play the game later, but I'll just show it a little bit right here. Pretty simple. Obviously, it doesn't look to be this scale because we have to play our game in a projected thing to get the scale right, but just a very simple space theme background again. And Jacob did create this awesome UI interface. He's really incredible with that. He did all the UI for our game, but they do have buttons that will link to the game that I will show later on when I open the game itself. So let's do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you our game that we have here. So it starts off with the title screen that I was just done showing you. And we have a few missions, so I think the ones we have chosen are one that you didn't just see previously. It is going to be a new one. So you click on mission 1, and it's going to pop open this level right here. And the strategy design portion of it, while we were giving our presentation, we were told that instead of just kind of having units placed randomly, it really truly needs to have a strategy feel to it. And so that's where most of our design thinking came from, aside from the fact that obviously, hey, we wanted it to be spacey and cool and futuristic. We decided what else would look really cool. Well, obviously the space and the stuff in the neon colors, we stuck with that. We also wanted to introduce some black, some dark grays that would make it all kind of look neutral as well. So once we've stuck to that, we actually ended up again, giving a presentation, being told it needs to be strategy oriented. And so we really focused on that. So Jacob actually, having definitely out of all three of us played the most strategy games, he built these by hand, and they're incredible. And they actually really work. And as you can see here, we have our main guy. This is a good team. As you can see, the blue UI around the edges. We have attack damage and stuff. We can get close to other enemies. He has a wide range because he can shoot. Again, this will all be in our trailer, but I think it's really well done, and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, I really like it. I guess challenges. Oh, challenges. I could talk a lot about. We had many challenges just because of the fact that we had to work around a lot of the toolkit's code, which I've never had to do. I've always built my games by hand. And so just deciphering what this coder has done was really difficult. Apparently, it has obviously helped us out a lot, and we really appreciate that. But yeah, definitely for challenges, untangling the code, trying to even find where, as you can probably have seen a few times now that the game was playing, we have some explosions and particle effects when anyone gets hurt. And so that was a struggle because we were like, oh, what unit, like what actual node do we have to connect to it? And so that was a huge struggle. But solutions was obviously to get help from Brantley and to end up just taking the time to learn what you were using. We had to open up and dissect this toolkit from top to bottom, and we learned so much about it. We could make 100 more games with this toolkit just based off the fact that we took the time to learn how to use this with the levels we have built. And I'm really excited to be able to actually dissect this toolkit possibly in the future and do more with it. But yeah, other than that, I think this wraps up the game. I talked about design thinking, space theme, and our strategy design definitely was our main focus, a few challenges, a few solutions, and I think that's it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our game.